never a dull moment. Welcome, everyone, to the NBA on 2K Sports. Tonight, we'll see the Brooklyn Nets as they play against the New York Knicks. Along with Greg Anthony, Brett Barry, and our sideline reporter, David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. D.A., take it away.
Hey, Kevin, if you'll allow a D.C. kid to be a little parochial right now, while there are some basketball hotbeds throughout the world, Prince George's County in the heart of Maryland is among the finest. A litany of NBA players have come from PG, including Kevin Durant, Victor Oladipo, Markelle Fultz, Michael Beasley, and Quinn Cook. KD said, "It's just in the water. This is what we do." Guys?
Great stuff as always, D.A. Thanks. And for a look at how the competition stacks up right now. These, the new power rankings, they tell a great story. You take a look at the Pelicans. They're moving on up, 4th spot in the rankings this time around.
And you know, for the Nets, they've sure made a statement here early on, outpacing some teams that were expected to be better, owning that top spot and defending it with pride.
So a look at our starters for the Knicks. It's Randall and Robinson at the 4 and the 5. Elfrid Payton is out there with R.J. Barrett. And it's Burks in at the small forward. And for Brooklyn, LeVert and Durant out on the perimeter. Jordan is out there with Green, and it's Irving at the point guard. Greg, at the beginning of every season, we love to see players that have worked on something during the offseason that they now have added to their game in the new season.
No doubt about it, Kevin. You know, the work doesn't end when the season ends. If you're trying to improve your skill set, or if you're trying to just put on muscle, kind of stuff needs to be done during the break. You need to have an assessment in the right after the season. Hey, where can I get better? And then you spend the off season on that challenge.
Season never really ends. Now here is Irving, following the shot by Alec Burks. Irving finds Green.
Yeah, put some students in the classroom, because that's exactly how you move the ball. Kyrie terrific at spotting the open man, and then you got to get it to him.
Burks the pass to Robinson. Burks looking around. Brooklyn with the rebound. This their first look at this year's New York squad.
And although they were the better team last year by overall record, this was a competitive matchup for them. Uncovered at the rim, finding cracks in the defense here early on.
Just really smart basketball and exploiting whatever holes that he's seeing right now in the defensive squad.
And so here is New York. After the basket by Brooklyn. Barrett the pass to Randall. Count that one.
The muscle and the intensity there from Randall showing off, and he converts through contact.
And it's Irving with the ball for the Nets. They're coming off that win against Minnesota.
I felt like they attacked, but with a purpose. They knew what they wanted to accomplish coming in.
And talking with the coaching staff, they said in that game they did a great job of not settling. Keep working the ball around, finding the best look. Let's see if they can keep that up.
And it's clear that LeVert has tons of confidence, especially in his ability to drain jumpers.
Outside Robinson. Pass to Payton. Shot clock at 5. Over Irving. And not going to go. He misses the first attempt on the night. The Nets have gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. Here's LeVert. Down it goes for his 3rd basket in as many tries.
Shooting 4 of 5 to start the game. That's got to be a feel good.
Here's Payton. Boy, he just disappeared against San Antonio, and they really needed him. Passes it to Randall. Outside Robinson. Great D that time from Jordan.
Really just struggling here in the first few minutes. 5 attempts with only 1 fall. And Kevin Durant, one of the greatest scorers to ever play. Not the most prolific scorer, but perhaps the most talented. He's dangerous from any part of the floor.
And so it's New York with it, trailing here by 8. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing that last matchup with San Antonio.
And that was a game to forget. You'd like to find some teachable moments, but I think they'd like to just turn the page and move forward.
Yeah, and quick, like as quick as possible. That was a dismal showing, especially for them at the offensive end.
And getting after it on the offensive glass and adding to that early total with the putback.
Sometimes guys come in with a great mindset trying to push the action until somebody stops them. Nobody there to do it that time.
Here's Jordan. Count the bucket coming off a perfectly placed assist. Greg, as scores go, Kevin Durant's as efficient as any.
I mean, Durant has an insane field goal percentage for the shots that he takes. I mean, when you factor in how many threes he puts up, it gets even more impressive. Durant takes so many shots where he's covered and is still efficient. It's just mind-blowing.
And here are the Nets. They're on a 12-4 run. Irving against Barrett. It's stolen by Barrett. And here's the fast break. Barrett leading the way. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast.
Barrett's instincts on the move and on the fast break are something that this offense will benefit from.
And here's Irving. He picked up 21 points in their last win against Minnesota.
As passing another high point in that game, he made sure it wasn't all about him. He wanted to get his teammates involved.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Burks, the pass to Robinson. Back to Burks. And it's blocked by Jordan.
You can't just throw up stuff like that with DeAndre Jordan lurking around.
Down low, here's LeVert. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. It's his first trip to the line.
And he finished last season right around 71% from the line, so not exactly his best percentage.
And the first one at the line is good.
Improving so much since his rookie season. I can't wait to see the next step LeVert makes in his career.
And so he's able to get one of two.
And a physical presence is former Kentucky Wildcat Julius Randle. But he's got some mobility to go along with it, able to move and attack in transition. And that's a little lack of fight at the defensive end.
Absolutely. At least on that slam, you're right. That's one way to let a team back in the game.
You have to credit the aggressiveness offensively, because that's when you make a play when you really need it.
You know, people have talked about Julius Randle's game. He's a power driver, isn't he, Greg? And the guy just bulldozes all the way in.
I like that phrase, Kev. You know, very fluid for his size. A pretty good ball handler and passer. I think his shooting is where he's still filling in the gaps.
Here's Payton. And the three off target.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Nets passing it around. LeVert with a wide open look. Off target there. That would have pushed the lead to double digits. Barrett with the ball. Guarded now by Irving. And Robinson is right there.
Mitchell Robinson, one of those guys who you could be blocking out, but it's just not enough with that length.
And so it's Irving. He brings it up for Brooklyn. 7-point differential. And there's the pass to Durant. And the jam by Kevin Durant.
Well, maybe not the highest of flyers, Durant, but because of his reach, it's so easy for him to win above the rim.
New York's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Burks against KD. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. Jeff Green picks one up. You know, winning that championship as you did, Greg, for UNLV, many people don't remember you played much of that season with a broken jaw.
Well, Kevin, I don't remember much of it, to be honest with you. It was pretty hazy. I lost 19 pounds over the course of the season.
Oh,
I was
goodness.
Championship night, I was 168 pounds.
No kidding.
Yeah. Oh, I was wired shut
Wow.
for 8 weeks. Did miss a game, but I tell you what, I don't know if I would do that today. But, you know, it did turn out well with the championship.
As I recall, you broke it against Fresno State, correct?
Yes, yeah, got my legs taken out from under me and broke the fall with my face.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, ouch. Here's what Brooklyn's going with right now. Jared Allen's checked in for Green. Joe Harris comes in for Karis LeVert. And Dinwiddie subbed in for Kyrie Irving. And a new group in for the Knicks. Noel's checked in for Robinson. Omari Spellman comes in for Julius Randle. Toppin, he's checked in for R.J. Barrett. And it's Austin Rivers in for Elfrid Payton. It's good on the putback.
Oh, great timing. He is one tough customer on that offensive glass.
You know, it's like he has a sixth sense of where that rebound is going. Now, here's Dinwiddie. He's coming off a 16-point game against Minnesota. KD passes to Jordan, and it's good, 2 points. Jordan's got his second basket of the game.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
Pass to Burks. Back to Rivers. He kicks it to Burks. No good on the three.
And another miss. Woo. He's having a really ugly game.
Yeah, about as ugly as you can have, you're right. The shot's good.
They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from the paint.
Knicks trail by 10. Burks dishes to Toppin. So here's Burks. He's coming off a 13-point game against San Antonio.
Felt like he had a sense in that game that the defense was being over-aggressive, and he tried to take advantage of that. He continually frustrated them throughout the night and got to the free throw line.
In low. And a kind roll that time off the rim as that one falls. And now a 12-point Nets lead. Now here's Rivers. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. Stolen by Allen. Oh, and a fast break for the Nets. Durant, the pass to Jordan, and the dunk by Jordan.
Excellent all-around performance so far, hence the big lead.
Well, if I was baking up a lead, I'd add 2 ingredients. One would be playing smart. The other one, playing selfless. They've done that tonight. Serve it up.
Here's Noel after the basket by Brooklyn. Kicks it to Burks. 6 to shoot. Here's Rivers. And the shot is long.
And already they've staked out a noticeable advantage in terms of aggression and controlling the backcourt.
Pass to Dinwiddie. His shot is good, making him a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor.
I like their focus coming in. Terrific execution so far.
Well, if there were 4 or 5 boxes to check in terms of the game plan tonight, they might have checked 6. I mean, they're doing everything out there.
And the Knicks decide to take their first time out here.
And they're allowing too many points in the paint. Coach is going to let them hear about it.
Yeah, coach knows that. They know that. In the timeout, they're going to hear about it, make the adjustment.
So for the Nets, Nicholas Claxton comes in for Jordan. And it's Prince in for Durant. And the Knicks making a change here as well. Ntilikina's checked in, and it's out of bounds. Last touched by Allen.
A split second late, but almost came up with a steal there.
Real close, and I'm sure next time you might time that a little bit better and get a hand on it.
And that was another look at the aggressive D that led to the mobile one block.
And they're determined to add to the lead, not with more offense, but with big-time D.
Nets on defense. 16-point lead.
And you know what? Call it great defense or poor offense. Either way, they're limiting their scoring.
And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
And Jared Allen, the big man out of Texas, a big part of his impact is how well he moves as a center. Very long and covers a ton of ground on both ends.
And with Allen, the amount of floor he can cover with a few steps is staggering.
And Kevin, it lets him take away chances and opportunities on D. On the other end, one step to the hoop and he's completely relocated as a target. One of the best moving bigs in our league.
The first free throw is good. Greg, is a broadcast. Who have been some of your favorite personalities to cover?
Man, that's a great question. You know, most of the stars, I'm a big fan of Durant and Steph and LeBron and those guys. Chris Paul's another one that's a favorite. So many other guys, you know, there's so much more personality and so much more confidence these guys have working in front of the camera. I think that just makes for a better experience.
Somebody asked me the other day, who was my favorite? You know who I said?
Who was that?
Greg Anthony.
Oh, you're just saying that because it's true. Well-rounded effort, and they show no signs of letting up.
Coaching staff probably most proud of the effort of this team on both ends of the floor here tonight.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Now, here's Toppin. He's covered closely. In transition, here come the Nets. Prince with the ball. And Dinwiddie with the basket on the assist by Prince. Dinwiddie's got 6.
Really seizing the momentum of this game, but doing it with a methodical approach.
Well, how good have they been on the inside tonight, just getting down into the painted area and just dominating, controlling that spot.
And so here is New York following the bucket by the Nets. Here's Ntilikina. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. Toppin, he gets that one.
Well, he's a pass-first point guard. Ntilikina with a nice play there.
Nets leading by 20. Allen passes to Claxton. 1:22 left to play in the first quarter. To the wing on the left. Clock at 6 to the left wing. Releases. That one wide left.
They've been sensational on the backboard to start this game.
And he banks in the layup.
Well, get in your rocking chair as Rivers does the weave through the D. Makes that look easy.
And so it's Dinwiddie with it. He'll bring it up for the Nets. Allen kicks to Dinwiddie. Pass to Prince. There's the pass to Harris on the wing. And it's Rivers with the rebound.
So weird. Sometimes when you get that much time, it can throw you off just as much as having no time.
New York moving it around. And there's the foul. And it's on Taurean Prince. That is his first foul of the game. .24 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Now here's Rivers. He's tightly guarded. And here we go. The fast break with Dinwiddie. And slam dunk by Allen.
When you have an elite wingspan like Jared Allen, you make those alley-oops look easy.
Toppin with it. Three-pointer. That one, no good. And so it's Brooklyn closing out the quarter with a 20-point lead. From the field, they have been outstanding. Amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to a blowout. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And earlier we spoke with Kevin Durant about surviving the grind of an NBA season.
How can we be the best version of ourselves individually every day, and how can we bring that together to make a great group? And I think that's the focus every day. That's tough in itself. That's the pressure in itself, is the getting up and being laser focused on what your job is every day. And I think a lot of guys in this locker room know how to muster up that focus to, win basketball games.
Well, Durant may not be the in-your-face type of player, Greg, but he gets the message across for sure.
He's not going to yell at you. He's going to show you how it's done and expect that you're as committed to winning as he is.
And welcome back to the second quarter of action. Plenty of basketball left to play, but this one has been one-sided so far. And the Nets pretty much in control here, it would seem.
Boy, their offense looks really good when everyone's in sync. Terrific first quarter.
I couldn't ask for a better one right now. Just a complete rhythm by all the guys who got some minutes. Wonderful start.
And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. On the court for the Knicks, Ntilikina out there with Austin Rivers. Then it's Noel. Then there's Toppin. And it's Spellman in at the 4. Knicks trail by 20. Toppin passes to Rivers. He kicks it to Toppin. Pass to Spellman. 6 on the shot clock. And that one hits back iron.
Probably not the shot that was drawn up for that possession, but you can't pass it up and you can't knock it down.
Dinwiddie dishes to Prince. Inside, here's Allen, and the rejection by Noel.
Noel in there to intimidate, and does so there.
Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Hey, Kevin, thank you and good evening. The Knicks made changes in coaching and the front office since the start of last season. But the question is, can they move forward? Their last winning season was back in 2013. Amidst the frenzy that is the media in New York, they'd like to make headlines going forward for all the right reasons this time. Kevin?
Thank you, David. Here's Claxton, and they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation.
And a quick look here at some of the numbers for Dinwiddie. Good season for him last year. He put up about 20 points per game last season, 6 assists and 3 rebounds. And you look at the numbers he's been putting up, fantastic scoring production from him.
Yeah, hard to ask for anything more at this point. He's really stepped up, and he's really delivered.
It's tipped. And Irving with a clear path to the hoop. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
And Kyrie went directly into contact that time, throwing his body at the defense.
The Nets shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
And as a group, they shot 75% from the line last season.
And he knocks down the first one. Teams have dynasties. The 90s, Michael Jordan. We've seen it over the many decades. Over the next decade, though, who do you think is going to lead the pack there, Greg?
Ooh, that's a great question. You know, with the way Father Time is treating LeBron, you might have to wait and see, because he is still playing at such a high level. But, you know, obviously Giannis has got to be on the short list with the Bucks. For me, I really look at Luka in Dallas. I just feel like with Kristaps Porzingis, that duo could just be deadly with how the game is played, but don't sleep on the Celtics with Tatum and Brown and that group that they have, with the front office they have. Man, I think the league overall is going to be in great shape moving forward.
It sure seems that way. Now Green, after Mitchell Robinson missed from long range.
Well, that's a shot they want just about on every possession if they can get it. He doesn't make them all, but still very much a high percentage look.
And guys, you've heard of overpassing. Well, that shot was an example of underpassing.
Maybe they can find a way to establish some rhythm in the next few possessions with the extra pass.
And so it's Randall bringing it up now for New York. In the second quarter, held scoreless, but they'll get another chance.
And all you got to do is look at the rebounding margin as to why they hold the lead.
Well, every time the shot goes up, guys are doing a nice job of finding bodies and making sure there's room to collect the rebound.
Stolen by Robinson. Randall kicks to Payton. High post shot. And again, it's the Knicks missing.
Not a bad shot from the mid-range. The D's giving it to him, and he's usually got an eye in that kind of range.
And finally, someone scores.
Yeah, the buckets have been few and far between, and neither team able to get into any sort of offensive rhythm.
New York's got nothing but zeros from long range in the second quarter. 0 of 4. Ntilikina passes to Randall. Here's Ntilikina. A steal. Irving looking over the floor, and Allen slams it in.
Well, I think Kyrie could play not only with the ball, but with the baton right now, orchestrating the offense.
The Knicks shooting around 24%. Not a good showing here. And there's the call on Kyrie Irving. That's his first foul. And the Nets making a change here. Durant's checked in. And a switch here also for New York. Burks, he's checked in for Ntilikina. Here's Payton. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. Now Burks to stop the drought. And it's Kyrie Irving with the rebound.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
It's rebounded by New York. Robinson's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Burks on the wing. The offensive rebound, Randall. And good work on the boards. They pick up the second chance points. Randall's got 6.
So active and understanding more and more with his experience where to be to get offensive rebounds is Julius Randle.
The Nets have gone just 2 of 8 shooting here in the second quarter.
And Julius Randle dropping a few pounds since he came in the league. He still brings an old school physicality to the game.
He's a good rebounder and a good finisher in the paint. Still trying to develop GA using that offhand and trying to have some touch around there with the right. That'll be a critical skill moving forward, but he has other ways to get at you offensively.
Burks' shot is good.
Sometimes trailing in the game, players get sucked into trying to make that home run play.
And here's LeVert. A 14-point game for him in the win against Minnesota. To the middle, here's Durant, and then Durant with the dunk.
Yeah, a nice, strong finish on the inside.
But Greg, that's what he does. He's got the dunker mentality. Guys, if they're going to make a run, no time like the present.
Yeah, and it's certainly, we had to expect a better game than this. Been very ugly thus far.
You risk getting torched when somebody's open. Payton's skilled enough to find the open man.
Now, here is Irving. He's got 6. Pass to LeVert. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. It's going to go on Alec Burks. For Brooklyn, they have hit most of their free throws tonight, 5 of 6. And the free throw drops for LeVert.
And they have yet to miss a shot from the line here this quarter.
Jordan, he's checked in for the Nets. And so he makes both from the line.
And a great job from the line this quarter. They've gotten their percentage way up there.
Burks on the wing. Passes it to Barrett. Back to Burks, and stolen by Irving. And here we go. Brooklyn fast break.
Well, there you go. One team operating on all cylinders at both ends. Steals, fast break buckets, and the other team in scramble mode.
And so here is New York. Now the pass to Barrett. Durant against Burks to the inside. Here's Payton. Beautiful dish, and the layup goes down.
Well, saw the opportunity, did Elfrid Payton, and inside capitalized.
Outside Irving. It's taken away by Payton. And here's the fast break. Barrett leading the way. And Barrett slams it in.
Excellent on both ends of that play.
Yeah, the steal was sharp, but the slam topped it off.
And we say it time and time again, so I'll repeat it. Have to be careful with the ball, or this is what happens.
Here's Durant. Randall grabs the board. Randall's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Dishes it to Payton. Burks against KD. Fires the 3. Payton can't get it to go.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
It's stolen by Barrett. Payton with the ball. Now Green defending. Plenty of daylight on that shot. Burks has got 9.
Yeah, he couldn't connect on anything from outside in the first quarter, but now he's hit 2 threes in the second quarter, and he looks much better.
Now here is Irving. He's got 6. Six to shoot. Robinson with the block.
Such good instincts from Robinson there to throw that one away.
And there's the call on DeAndre Jordan. That's his first foul. Dinwiddie's checked in for Green. Nerlens Noel checks in for New York. Rivers comes in for Payton. New York with the ball. They're on a 14-6 run. And there's the call on DeAndre Jordan. That's foul number 2 for him.
It's his second foul, but not the end of the world. One more before halftime, though. That would change some things.
Harris is checked in for Karis LeVert. Rivers surveying the D. A floater. Noel laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Noel's got his second basket of the night.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
Now here's Durant. 23 points for him the last game against Minnesota.
Well, the thing he did most was fluster the defense. I really liked how he showed no fear and constantly attacked the lane and drew contact, which in turn got him the free throws.
The Nets making a switch here. Prince is checked in, and New York with a change here too. Toppin, he's checked in for R.J. Barrett. Rivers passes to Toppin. A shot off that time, and Brooklyn will now go the other way with it.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
A nice shot by KD.
Sweet to be a difference maker in the game, and he's been a great option for them on these possessions.
Here's Rivers. 8 points his last outing. Pass to Toppin. That's tipped. Harris with it. Picked up by Rivers. And here's the fast break for 3. And there's the call on DeAndre Jordan. That's his 3rd foul of the game. Omari Spellman has come in for Robinson. Knicks trail by 18. Rivers with it. New York moving it around. Pass to Spellman. Fires from deep. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. Spellman's got his first 3 points of the game.
I like that. Staying alert. Rivers keeping his head up to find the open man.
1:41 left to play here in the half. Prince, the pass to Jordan. Shot clock at 6. Outside Durant. There's the 3. Unable to get that one. The Knicks go the other way with it. Toppin with it. Guarded now by Prince. Burks dishes to Rivers. 1:16 left in the first half of basketball. Passes it to Toppin. Finds the hole for the second time from the floor. Now 2 for 5.
And they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing the ball into the paint.
Now Harris. No points in the game yet for him. Dinwiddie surveying the floor. KD on the wing. Not going to go that time. And New York will come the other way. The pass to Burks. And here we go. And the shot goes in. Rivers has got his second bucket of the game to go.
Traditionally, that's how you want to finish the break, right at the rim.
Yeah, anything other than a layup in that situation, probably disappointing. Had numbers, took advantage.
Now here's Durant. He's got 8. Durant, and KD is right there. KD's got 10 points.
How about that? On the offensive glass, KD anticipating where the ball was going and then uses his length to track it down.
Harris against Burks. Over Harris. And the last second attempt does not go in for him.
Awesome D from Torian right there. A big reason why he's on the floor right now.
That'll do it for the first half. Nets lead by 13. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks a lot. Kyrie, what were you all focusing on coming into the game tonight?
So I come out with a intense focus and intensity that other teams can't match. Just doing whatever it takes to keep our tempo. Guys are in a great rhythm when we have a great tempo. So just trying to get everybody involved and do whatever it takes to win.
Well, we'll see if you can keep playing at your pace in the second half. Thanks a lot. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back for the second half of basketball right after this.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And what a show being put on here for the home fans tonight. I'm Ernie Johnson, along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. It's Brooklyn out in front at the half. They have a 13-point lead. And over to Shaq. What do you think about Brooklyn?
Well, Kenny should appreciate this. I love the ball movement. They were in sync as a unit, and their assist numbers were impressive. Anytime you get 5 players working together like that instead of one guy doing it alone, it's always going to be a boost. That's the primary reason they're in control of the game.
And Kenny, your take on New York.
Well, after the field goal percentage they allowed in the first half, it's time for them to get tough. That's right, tough. If they're going to stay in this game, they'll need to turn this into a street fight. Get physical. Let some elbows go. Yes, let them go. And guys know they're going to be no more easy baskets in here. Let them know that.
And that wraps up the halftime show. Third quarter set to begin in just a few.
Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. One of the stories here, guys, Caris LeVert getting it done today.
And, guys, we saw just how tough he can be with the step to the rim. Great job of just attacking that first half.
Yeah, nice job of carving his way to the inside with some ease. Not much resistance out there.
And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the route that it's threatening to be. Irving and LeVert are at the 1 and 2. Green is out there with Durant, and it's Jordan in at the 5, roaming the paint. So that's the lineup for Brooklyn. Now here's Irving. Pass to Green, launches it. It's rebounded by New York. Here's Jordan, and contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
Well, there is continuous energy in DeAndre Jordan's play, really hustling on both ends and influencing those plays with that activity.
This is his first chance at the line tonight.
You know, this is not an area where they expect him to contribute. You know, he's a guy that shot below 70% last season.
Free throw good, Jordan. That one is no good. And so it's Rendell bringing it up now for the New York Knicks. They trail by 14.
And Barrett will give you these kind of flashes. He got up that time.
Barrett's gone 3 of 5 shooting from the floor. On the wing, Irving, covered by Payton. Durant against Burks. Durant, the pass to Jordan. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Over Robinson. Robinson pulls it in. Knicks trail by 12. And the rim-running Mitchell Robinson, the league leader in field goal percentage, Greg, in his second season.
Maybe the most athletic 7-footer in the game. I mean, his lob finishing sucks in the defense, creating so much space out on the floor for his teammates.
Not the kind of aggressive defense they need to cut into the lead.
Yeah, you have to protect the rim, Greg, a little better.
Good job to recognize the opportunity. That's just very solid offense. Well, his shots aren't dropping, and they haven't been able to keep pace, but they trust him enough to keep going to him, see if he can find it.
Now, here's Green. KD on the wing. And then Durant with the jam.
And Green is a critical role player for this team. His passing is really phenomenal.
For New York, they've gone 1 of 3 since starting the second half. Payton kicks to Burks. 2 minutes into the second half of play now. Outside, Robinson launches a 3. And out of bounds as the Nets gain possession. Jared Allen's checked in for the Nets. A fantastic mobile 1 block. This one deserves another look.
The defensive awareness, the timing, when you have to face a defender that can reject you like that, it can alter your approach.
Nets leading by 16. And here's Irving. He's got 6. Sinks the three-pointer. KD's got 15 points.
Love it. KD firing away right now. Has the confidence and the touch and buries those triples. Sometimes it comes in bunches.
Now here's Burks. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. It's on Jared Allen. He shot 2 free throws in the game, made 1 and missed 1. First free throw is good. And Burks hits 2 free throws. Now, here is Irving. Well, we're into the third quarter, just over 2.5 minutes played. And Durant, here we go. And then Durant with the jam.
Anticipating the contact there and toughness through that play, Durant is not afraid to attack the defense.
Knicks trail by 19. Up top, Barrett. Levert defending. Barrett dishes to Randall. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. It's on Kevin Durant. For New York, they have shot 75% at the line tonight, going 3 for 4. That free throw good from Randall.
7th pick in the 2014 NBA draft. The interesting thing about Randall is he falls into that category as a tweener, maybe not a 3-man or a 4-man, but over the course of his career, he's decided to improve his outside shooting, become a threat driving to the basket, and now finding a home offensively in the NBA. You wonder how much further he can go if he could expand to the 3-point line. Julius Randle's going to be in this league for a long time.
Now, here is Irving. He has 6. He lobs it up. Got a piece of it. It's stolen by Randall. Now Barrett pushing it up, and no one back to stop him.
Hands of Randall starting that possession.
And it's Irving with the ball for the Nets. The lead is 15. Pass to KD. Clock at 6. Back to Irving from 18 feet away. He clangs that one off the back iron, and down it falls.
Yeah, I feel like he uses the dribble to set up his rhythm for the mid-range shots like that one. Kyrie knocks another in.
Knicks trail by 17. Ntilikina looking it over. And Randall throws it down.
And wait to finish and cut into that lead a little bit.
Yeah, but look at the basket, guys, still shaking. Here's Irving. 8 points for him. KD with it. Passes it to Levert. Shot clock at 6. Claxton the pass to Allen. Here's Claxton. Offensive rebound. And staying with the play, Allen. And the Nets lead by 17.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
With some arc, and the layup is up and in.
Good patience on the pick and roll that time as Ntilikina taking what it is that he saw.
Nets leading by 15. Now Irving, the pass to Claxton. High post Allen. Robinson on him. Outside for KD. And a lot of talk, Greg, about in-season tournaments in the NBA to spur fan interest. The proposal was tabled for a bit. What are your thoughts on that?
You know, cash prizes for the players and coaching staffs. That always seems like a good idea. I just wonder, Kevin, if they're going to be any cash prizes for the broadcasters, because now I think they're on to something if we could get that, you know. But in all seriousness, we see that in soccer, right? And it seems to work well. And I think if it can spur some more interest from fans, then I'd be all for it.
Yeah, the fans love it watching soccer.
It's pretty evident to see that Kevin Durant is driven to be a great player, but it's his love for the game. The passion he has for basketball is something that's just off the charts. I know he's anxious to have another great competitive year in the NBA.
Knicks trail by 17. Here's Barrett. Rebounded by the Nets. Allen's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin, we know that for years the NBA has thought about a postseason play-in tournament to get more teams and fans involved. Last year's pandemic stoppage basically necessitated its implementation. For the NBA, the disruption of business as usual enabled innovation and risk-taking. I don't want to be too hoity-toity, but it was Albert Einstein who once said, "In the midst of every crisis lies great opportunity." Guys, back to you.
You're right. Thank you, David. He misses the free throw. Joe Harris is checked in for Durant. Good on the second free throw.
Yeah, I like that they haven't lost their aggressiveness here in the second, despite being down.
Pass to Claxton. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
I mean, even from over here, you could see that one pretty clearly.
The Nets have been getting it done at the line, 10 for 12. And the first one at the line is good. And he makes both free throws. Here's Ntilikina. Pass to Barrett. Now here's Randall. Here's Ntilikina. Outside for Randall. 4 on the clock. Here's Barrett. No good off the back of the rim.
Well, that mid-range, Jay, usually pretty much on the money. Maybe the timing just a little bit off on that one. We'll have a hard time shaking that one off. Perfect position, plenty of space. Just clanked it.
And the shot is good.
And he's really shot the ball well, but it hasn't been contagious.
Brooklyn leading by 16. Outside Irving. Back to Dinwiddie. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. Julius Randle picks one up.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one. The free throw drops for Dinwiddie. And the Nets making a change here. Prince is checked in. Toppin, he's checked in for the Knicks. He's perfect from the line this time. So it's Ntilikina who brings up the ball for New York. It's an 18-point game. Out to the wing. Here's Spellman. They get a hand on it. The feed to Prince. He dents the rim with a 2-handed slam. Wow.
Now looking to run, Prince just streaks down the open court.
Here's Ntilikina. Kicks to Toppin. Lets it go from deep. Offensive rebound. Randall no good. Nets leading by 20. Here's Dinwiddie. Good. And Harris gets the assist. Dinwiddie's got 10.
Beautiful transition offense there. That's execution at its best.
Yeah, once you burst through a seam like that, you got to look right towards the rim. Sweet play.
Here's Ntilikina. After the basket by Brooklyn, Rivers, Dinwiddie with some nice D. Doesn't go for him. The Knicks go the other way with it. And Joe Harris, the lethal shooter, he can also be a threat in the pick-and-roll game.
Yeah, Harris does a great job reading what a defense is giving. He's more than just a catch-and-shoot type of player. Harris can hit shots on the move and isn't afraid to go at defenders.
Now here's Prince. Following the miss by Julius Randle. And here is Prince. At the elbow, it's Allen. 6 on the shot clock. Shoots the 3. And that's Prince. That time on the assist by Allen. Prince has got 5 points now in the quarter.
Really in a good position thanks to the accuracy from beyond.
New York's gotten blank from three-point land so far in the third. Still 0 for 3. Rivers kicks to Ntilikina. And stolen by Prince. And here we go. Harris heading to the hoop. Good on the shot.
That's the kind of passing you want there. Work the ball around, keep it moving, try to get an assist on every bucket.
New York calls timeout.
And they just can't seem to get going offensively.
Yeah, they're like a 4-day-old soda right now, just flat. They're missing shots left and right and just not playing their best.
And New York making a change here. Noel's checked in. And now to our rookie leaderboard for a look at this month's steal leaders among the young guys. Number 1, Obi Toppin.
And if those numbers show us anything, it's how good he is at picking up on ball handlers' tendencies and knowing when to make his move.
New York shooting is leaving something to be desired. Just 36% here in the third quarter. And stolen by Harris. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
Taking a look here at the numbers for Allen. He had a strong showing last season. 3rd in field goal percentage, 15th in rebounding, and he's a shot blocker as well. Top 20 in that category last season. Great timing and challenges at the rim.
And it's a pretty terrific feat to finish top 3 in field goal percentage. Just a testament to how hard he works to become the consummate pro. That's good from Harris. DeAndre Jordan's checked in for the Nets. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. New York shooting a meager 37% for the game. Ntilikina kicks to Rivers. Passes to Toppin. Can they get it? And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. It's going to be on DeAndre Jordan. The Knicks have shot 75% at the stripe, 6 of 8.
And looking at last season's numbers, down below 70% as a team from the line.
The first one falls. Alec Burks checked in for New York. He hits both from the stripe. And it's Harris with the ball for Brooklyn. And following this game, they'll challenge the Grizzlies on the road at the FedEx Forum in Memphis. That will be a getaway game for them, a one-game road trip.
Well, maybe not a true point guard, but Austin Rivers is becoming more cognizant of keeping his teammates involved in the action.
Brooklyn's gone into the three-point range 4 times since halftime and buried 2 of them. Rivers against Dinwiddie. Outside Jordan. And the pass to Allen. 5 to shoot. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. That shot wide open. Harris has got 7 now in this quarter.
Textbook feed from Allen, a big man who helps facilitate the offense.
Now here's Rivers. Burks with it. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. And let's see what the Nets have coming up. On Thursday, they'll be taking on Jonas Valanciunas and the Memphis Grizzlies. Then on Sunday, they'll be taking on Victor Oladipo and the Indiana Pacers. The first free throw is good. Jeff Green, he's checked in for Jared Allen. And Burks hits 2 free throws. Here is Harris. He has 7. Pass to Dinwiddie. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. It's going to go on Alec Burks. This is his 2nd trip to the free throw line.
Had a success rate from the line last year of about 78%.
The free throw drops for Dinwiddie. And both free throws good for Dinwiddie. New York's gotten blank from three-point land so far in the third, still 0 for 3. And the officials will call the illegal screen right there.
Beyond the leaning, you could see his feet weren't set on that screen. Easy call.
Got to hold firm or you're going to get a call.
Brooklyn's gone 3 of 5 with the long ball since entering the second half. Harris looking it over. Dinwiddie against Burks. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Now, Jordan is a force on the inside. There's no denying that. A real problem right now for the defense.
He'll take his 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the game right here. That one is off. He hits the 2nd from the line. And so it's Rivers with it. He'll bring it up for New York. He dishes it to Toppin. Now Rivers. Pass to Toppin. Just 5 on the clock. Back to Rivers. We've got 1:13 left in the third. New York, no good that time either.
Is it getting cold in here? This is a tough one. Crucial that he starts to work a little harder for a higher percentage shot.
Here's Jordan, and the rejection by Noel. And now it's Toppin running. He can go all the way. And Toppin throws it down.
And he wanted everybody in the building to feel that ferocity.
And we did. And we felt it. Even over here, we felt it. Now, here's Dinwiddie. 12 points for him. Jordan, high post. And it's Noel with the rebound.
My goodness, how about that miss? I mean, that's 2 easy points that they've just given away.
He can't get that one. Great D that time from Green. Brooklyn's gone 3 of 5 with the long ball since entering the second half. 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Down low. Feeds to Jordan. The Knicks pull it in.
Even if you're not shooting it, you like to see the effort level, and his tonight has been high. Yeah, that miss might stick with him for a little while. That's kind of a shoot-around jumper if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, he's going to knock that down if you give it to him. Uncompetitive there defensively.
Well, defense also looking defeated. The lack of hustle is driving the coaching staff a little bit batty right now.
And so it's Kevin Durant making headlines and highlights for Brooklyn. He finishes with 9 points in the quarter. The D is having all sorts of problems with him. We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here. And let's go back to a terrific pass that we're calling tonight our State Farm assist of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
The coaches talk about it all the time, but to be able to play with that kind of feel, nice play, collaborating, improvising, and organic.
And there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the fourth quarter, but stranger things have happened. And on the floor for New York here in the fourth, we've got Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. Austin Rivers is out there with Dennis Smith. Then it's Noel. And it's Knox in at the 3 slot.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Shamet the pass to Brown. Greg, we are in an era of positionless basketball, and we know the All-Star game now has a 2 backcourt, 3 front court position as opposed to 2 guards, 2 forwards, and a center when you're voting. Should they get rid of those designations entirely?
I tell you what, I think you could make a strong case for that. But you go back to last season, many felt Jimmy Butler got robbed of a starting spot.
Yes.
I think, listen, this is the fans' vote. Why not the 5 top vote getters? I don't care if they're 4 guards. If the 5 players that the fans want to see the most play a certain position, then so be it. You know, they're not going to play all 48 minutes. You're still going to have your 7 other spots to kind of balance out the roster. I say just let the fans tell you the 5 they want to see, and let's go play.
And so here is New York. Here's Smith. Another shot. Knox misses. And for Brooklyn, their shooting has been fun to watch in this game. They're at 57%. Passes it to Luau. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Jeff Green. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. There it's checked in for Austin Rivers. The Knicks have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. Guys, they're looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
We've gone about a minute and a half into the fourth quarter. There's Shamet. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. It's going to be on Dennis Smith.
And already at such a young age, Landry Shamet considered one of those critical role pieces for a very good team. Sky's still the limit for where he can get to.
That free throw good from Shamet. Game continues to evolve, Greg. Any changes in particular that you do not like?
That's a great question. You know, I'd like to see the replay review streamlined a little bit better. I wouldn't mind a touch more physicality being allowed in the game, but as much as we tend to complain, the one thing I have learned is if you're honest, you go back, we always complain. I don't care what the era is. Nobody's ever truly happy, and I'm not going to spend all my time worrying about that stuff, partner. I'm just going to enjoy the game that we are all so fortunate enough to be able to watch.
Totally agree.
Putting that athleticism to good use, Dennis Smith Jr. explosive and overwhelmed the defense that time.
And the first one drops.
A 9th pick in the 2017 NBA draft, Smith Jr. made the NBA's all-rookie team after a very solid first year in Dallas, averaging 15 points and 5 assists, and he sure is not looking to stop there.
It's Prince on the wing. And it's out of bounds. The Knicks will take it the other way. The Nets making a switch here. Claxton's checked in. Game moves along. 2 minutes gone here in the fourth. Brown against Barrett. Now the pass to Knox. And to get open is Robinson. And the basket by Knox.
Like it when you fire it to a teammate who's ready to shoot, and Kevin Knox was.
Brown outside. To the paint. Here's Prince. Rebounded by Knox.
Now that's how to protect the rim without fouling. Force him into an awkward release and a bit of an adjustment on the layup.
The Nets have gone 1 of 4 since the end of the third quarter. Pass to KD. Down the stretch of last season, Greg, we saw some teams resting healthy players, even ones out of the playoff hunt, and they got fined. But is the amount, which I think is about $25,000, is that enough to discourage that tactic?
You know, I don't think it is. Not when team revenues are measured in the hundreds of millions. You got to do more to keep them honest, but by the same token, you know, if I got $200 million invested in a guy, I want to protect my investment. And so if I can rest them here or there and prolong their career, I think my organization's all the better for it.
Prince kicks to Brown. And again, it's the Nets missing.
Rare you'll see him miss such an open look.
Offensive rebound, Kid Gilchrist. And it's sent back by KD. Bobbed up there for KD. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Nets will retain possession. Fourth quarter of play, and over 3.5 minutes have gone by. Durant drawing the double team. Kicks it out to Prince. No good. And they can't put an end to this drought. And so it's Smith with it. He'll bring it up for the New York Knicks. Here in the fourth, they've allowed just 4 points. Here's Kid Gilchrist.
Wow, the large wingspan of Durant on full display. What a block there.
Brown dishes to Durant. To the right side. Lets the three fly. Some solid defense from Robinson.
Well, there's more he could have done in this game for sure, but it hasn't kept them from pulling ahead.
Snatched up. Up top, Kid Gilchrist. And there's the call on Durant. That'll be his second foul of the game. The Knicks making a switch here. Ntilikina's checked in. And so Tom Thibodeau has got to have a timeout right now.
The number 3 pick back in the 2019 draft, RJ wanted to play for the Knicks. He knew it wouldn't be easy with all the turmoil last season. Boy, was that an understatement.
And here are the Knicks now. And a miss there off the inbound. Here's Shamet to the inside. Durant finds Shamet. Outside Prince. Brown outside. Just 4 to shoot. Trying to end the drought, and that one's good. Durant. KD's got 21 in the game. And you know, Greg, you asked Barrett, he said he felt better prepared for the glare of the New York media after his one season at Duke because, you know, playing there is in the national limelight. You're on a star-studded team.
Yeah, I mean, playing with Zion Williamson, Cam Reddish, and Trey Jones, the Knicks could use a little more star talent, though, if they're going to turn the corner.
I'm sorry, that's poor defense down low again. It's been a mismatch thus far in the paint.
And so here is New York. Here's Ntilikina. Inside, here's Kid Gilchrist. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. And the league taking steps to discourage teams, Greg, from tossing away seasons in search of high draft picks. Has enough been done, you think, in that regard?
We'll see. I tell you, the idea of a play-in
that's
tournament
a tough one, isn't it?
for the last few playoff spots, I think that's a good idea, actually. It might keep more teams in the hunt down the stretch. And I think the onus also, if the fans put enough pressure on their teams to try to develop what they have and not always put it on the future, I think that's going to help. But I think you're going to always have a little bit of that moving forward.
And both free throws good from Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. Brooklyn's gone ice cold from three-point land, 0-4 since the start of the final quarter. Shamet finds Durant. Back to Shamet. It's rebounded by New York. Robinson's got his 8th rebound here tonight. Here's Knox. Shot goes down. Very quick possession right there. Knox has got 4 points now in the quarter. This could get even more out of hand if they continue to put up points.
Wow, Kevin, what a performance we are seeing.
Shamet the pass to Durant. Stolen by Robinson. And now the Knicks on the break. Robinson leading the charge. And finished off by Robinson.
Yeah, big men like that running hard in transition should get rewarded, and Robinson able to do that there.
Outside, KD. Brown wide open. He fires. Off target from outside. New York shooting in this fourth quarter pretty dire at 27%. Pass to Robinson. To the middle. Hangs. And Kidd-Gilchrist lays it in.
And it's getting late, guys, but all of a sudden they have hope when just a little while ago it looked like hope was lost.
Pass to Prince. Greg, your son's been drafted. You were drafted in the NBA. As you look back on the process that you went through and your son Cole has gone through, what are some of the flags? What are some of the things that stand out to you?
First and foremost, boy, how time flies. I mean, it wasn't that
No
long
kidding.
ago, at least
No
it feels
kidding.
like, that they were calling my name on draft night. But
91, right?
Yeah.
91.
You know, every stage of life, though, has its joys. And listen, to play the game I love and now see him playing it at this level, it's truly a blessing. And in his case, he probably loves it even more. You know, he didn't grow up the way I did. He grew up just with a true love and passion for the game. So it's humbling and obviously something that I take great pride in.
You were taken out of UNLV 1991, number 12 overall. Remember it like it was yesterday.
Yeah, throw it anywhere you want. Mitchell Robinson knows what to do.
Brown outside. The pass to Claxton. Clock is at 3. And it's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. They turn it over. And a new group in for the Nets. DeAndre Jordan's checked in for Nicholas Claxton. Allen comes in for Taurean Prince. Karis LeVert's checked in for Brown. And Dinwiddie subbed in for Landry Shamet. And a new group in for the Knicks. Randall's checked in for Kid Gilchrist. Burks comes in for Kevin Knox. R.J. Barrett's checked in for Frank Ntilikina. And it's Payton in for Smith. Payton outside. Oh, we know the TV networks have brought more revenue, Greg, to the NBA. The expectation is for another bump when they renegotiate in 2023.
You know, at the same time, though, Kevin, with all the cord cutters out there, the league looking to make the game more accessible.
And we have a lot of great jumpers in the league, but DJ makes a statement every time. Elbows above the rim that time.
New York's gotten just 1 of 4 3-pointers to go down for them here in the fourth. Here's Burks. He can't hit that time. The Nets go the other way with it. It's stolen by Barrett. 2 points. That one goes. 15 points for Julius Randle.
How about that shot? Not exactly something drawn up by the coaching staff.
Here now is Dinwiddie. Pass to LeVert. Down low, Durant, and then Durant with the jam.
Now with KD, there's just not a spot on the floor where once he gets it, you don't feel like he's confident and comfortable to score. Tonight, inflicting some serious pain.
Payton looking it over. Randall outside. Shoots a 3. And it's Durant with the rebound. Durant's got 8 rebounds in this game. Pass to Jordan. Dinwiddie against Payton. And Dinwiddie gets it to go on the assist by Jordan.
Now just all alone down there. Credit goes to DeAndre for finding him. That's a nice pass.
The Knicks shooting a meager 37% for the game. Payton passes to Robinson. Now the dish to Burks. No good on the triple. And so Allen will bring it up for Brooklyn. Now here's LeVert. He kicks it to Dinwiddie. Greg, you know, we're seeing players take control of their free agent destiny. Do players get a bad rap for that and switching teams?
Listen, I don't know if you get a bad rap, but you're going to catch the wrath of the fan base. You think of Paul George in Indy or KD in OKC, and fans, they're going to feel jilted. There's no doubt about it. They're going to feel scorned.
Yeah. 6 to shoot. Payton kicks to Robinson. Here's Barrett. They get it back. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. It's on Jared Allen.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of big men in this league who don't realize that Mitchell Robinson has that kind of quickness. They end up fouling him quite a bit. Well, the Knicks fans looking for any ray of hope, and it doesn't have to come at the hands of high-level draft choices. Mitchell Robinson is one of those young players right now for them who's showing a ton of promise.
And he makes the first. And Robinson, a second-round pick for the Knicks. Brett, he has been a steal.
I agree with you. He started playing basketball in 8th grade, so you wonder how much more unlimited and untapped potential does Mitchell Robinson have at this position.
Here's what Brooklyn's going with right now. Taurean Prince, he's checked in for Jordan. Luwawu Cabarro comes in for Kevin Durant. Bruce Brown, he's checked in for Karis LeVert. And Landry Shamet subbed in for Dinwiddie.
He needed to convert on all of those. Missed opportunities at the line are the last thing they need right now. And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Nets.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
And every win important. And this one will go down as win number 3.
And they'll take the win tonight, setting the tone in the first matchup of this 4-game season series.
And as one might have guessed coming into this game, it was indeed another big game tonight for Kevin Durant.
Serving up feeds all night long. He was the best teammate that they had on the floor.
Smith, the pass to Rivers. Back to Smith. Whistle blows. Bucket is good, and he'll have a chance at the line to make it a 3-point play.
Rivers plays with a chip on his shoulder, and that time driving right through contact.
The free throw drops for Rivers.
I think it's been kind of cool to watch Austin Rivers play under his dad, Doc, a shifty combo guard with fantastic skills.
8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Back to Shamet. Over in the corner, Brown. Basket is good. He'll get a chance for one more at the line.
This arena was rocking throughout the night. You could really feel the energy.
Yeah, huge motivation, always great for a young team, but veteran players also appreciate when fans come with that kind of energy and get into the spirit of the game.
One shot.
Now here is Smith. He's covered by Shamet. Smith outside. And so it's Brooklyn easily grabbing this one. And the outcome of this one was never in doubt.
And boy, they really put in a supreme effort. It just felt like once they had that lead and it was comfortable, they were not going to relinquish it.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks, Kevin. Kyrie, we're at an early part of the season, but what did you want to accomplish tonight individually and in the team flow?
Just wanted to come out here and compete and get the win. We wanted to set a standard for ourselves. The most important thing was just coming out here and competing for my teammates and doing whatever possible to get this win.
And you all did that tonight. Thanks, Kyrie. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Brett Barry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. See you next time.